In today's video, we are recapping a 2022 action crime movie, titled The Killer, A Girl Who Deserves to Die. Spoilers ahead, watch out and enjoy. The film begins with John, a professional killer, enjoying his retirement and pursuing a peaceful life with his beloved wife, Kate. One day, Kate informs John that she plans to spend some time with her close friend Lena for a few days. As a favor, she asks John to look after Lena's stepdaughter, Sung-Yun, who is just 17 years old and left behind by her father following a divorce. After dropping Kate and Lena off at the airport the following day, John meets Sung-Yun at a coffee shop as planned. During their conversation, Sung-Yun expresses her desire to stay at her friend's house that night. John consents to her request, but before parting ways, he discreetly hands her some money, and secretly places a tracking device in her wallet to keep tabs on her whereabouts. In the middle of the night, John receives a call from Sung-Yun, who complains of severe stomach pain. Concerned, John rushes to her aid, sacrificing his sleep to help her. Upon arriving, John is taken aback as he witnesses Sung-Yun seemingly having a great time with her boyfriend. John questions her, reminding her that she was supposed to be at her best friend's house. Sung-Yun asks him to leave, as her other friend has invited her to her house. As John starts to leave, he spots Sung-Yun with her boyfriend, leading him to realize that she has fooled him once again. Additionally, he notices some intoxicated girls nearby, making him understand his responsibility to protect Sung-Yun. Utilizing the tracking device in her wallet, John quickly locates Sung-Yun at a desolate location. We see a girl named Natasha. Natasha offers Sung-Yun $200 if she pleases her client, implying that Sung-Yun's boyfriend deliberately brought her to this place. Natasha threatens Sung-Yun, warning her to comply, and prepares to harm her. Just as she is about to strike, John intervenes, vowing not to let anyone harm Sung-Yun. Sung-Yun's boyfriend attempts to fight John, but John's expertise as a professional fighter allows him to disarm the boyfriend effortlessly, even with a knife involved. In the midst of the chaos, John effortlessly defeats all the boys present at the scene. Suddenly, Natasha launches a knife attack at John, but he skillfully defends himself, rendering Natasha unconscious with a powerful punch. As a result of his heroic actions, Sung-Yun starts to see John in a positive light, and a strong friendship develops between them. Later that night, after a dinner outside, they encounter a police checkpoint where Officer Lee stops John's car for interrogation. Officer Lee informs John that some college students were murdered in the area, leading to the ongoing police checks. The next morning, Officer Lee visits John's house to question him, as he finds his car's presence near the crime scene. Lee shows John CCTV footage where his car was seen on the road near the crime scene. John responds cleverly, stating that his car was not the only one that went that way, trying to divert attention from himself. After Lee leaves, Sung-Yun apologizes to John, explaining that she is very scared. Her fearful expression triggers a memory in John of a girl he encountered in the past. He recalls how he once encountered a girl on the brink of suicide, but he managed to convince her not to go through with it. He encouraged her to forget her past troubles and move forward in life. Just then, Natasha calls Sung-Yun and speaks to John, revealing that all the boys involved are now dead. Natasha also claims to have the knife that John took from those boys, and mentions that his fingerprints are on it. She hints at the possibility of using this as leverage against him, potentially putting him in trouble with the police. As John agrees to meet Natasha within an hour, he ensures Sung-Yun's safety by giving her a bracelet with a hidden tracking device. Leaving Sung-Yun behind, John heads to meet Natasha. When he arrives at a building, he encounters Jang, Natasha's cousin, whose nefarious job involves kidnapping underage girls and selling them. Jang orders one of his men to kill John, but John easily defeats the assailant. He then confronts Natasha, demanding the knife with his fingerprints on it. However, Natasha refuses to hand it over. John begins to torture Jang's man, which frightens Jang. In a desperate attempt to escape, Jang throws the knife toward John. Afterward, John returns home to find that many people have come into the house and kidnapped Sung-Yun, taking her away from the house. John quickly traces Sung-Yun's location using the tracking bracelet, and grabs his guns before setting out to find her. He arrives at a deserted street where he confronts Natasha directly. Natasha panics and attempts to flee, but John catches her. Reluctant to risk Sung-Yun's life, John decides not to kill Natasha but resorts to torturing her to extract information. Under pressure, Natasha confesses the truth: their gang's purpose is to kidnap underage girls and sell them to clients. According to Natasha, Sung-Yun is an attractive virgin girl who caught the eye of a particular client, and he is willing to pay a substantial sum for her. Upon hearing this, John insists on knowing the location where Sung Yun is being held. As John heads towards the location where Sung Yun is being held, the police arrive at the scene, led by Officer Lee. While searching, Lee discovers Natasha's lifeless body. Meanwhile, John enters the hotel and faces a group of people who attack him. Being a highly skilled fighter and killer, John effortlessly takes them all down. However, Sung Yun is not present in the hotel. At that moment, a man named Yuri appears before John. Yuri is a professional fighter working for the Russian mafia. Yuri reveals that Sung Yun will be sent to Russia via a ship at 8 a.m. the next day, and he warns John that he won't be able to save her, because Yuri intends to kill him right there. John tries to leave and Yuri pursues him, leading to a prolonged and intense fight between the two highly skilled fighters. However, using a rope to tie up Yuri, John escapes after making a daring jump onto a car below, which coincidentally belonged to Officer Lee. Officer Lee points his gun at John and demands him to accompany him to the police station. However, John cleverly disarms Lee, making him a prisoner instead. He takes control of Lee's car and heads to the port to save Sung Yun. Upon arriving, John finds Sung Yun inside a car, and swiftly takes down the gangsters who were attempting to send her to Russia. Jang tries to attack them, but John defeats him and interrogates him about the person who demanded Sung Yun. However, Jang remains silent and John shoots him. Amidst the chaos, John discovers a mobile phone with the last call being made to Officer Lee. It becomes clear to John that Officer Lee is involved with the people trafficking girls. John confronts Lee, giving him an ultimatum to reveal the identity of the mastermind behind this operation, or he will expose Lee's corrupt activities to the media. The following day, Lee contacts John and provides him with the address of a hotel, where a man named Park is staying. Park is a member of the same gang responsible for kidnapping underage girls and trafficking them to Russia. John arrives at the hotel and systematically takes down Park's men one by one. He confronts Park, brutally beating him to extract information about the man who demanded Sung Yun. Park reveals that the mastermind behind their operation is a judge known as Kim. According to Park, they kidnap underage girls and deliver them to Judge Kim. The judge takes one of the girls for her own enjoyment, while the rest are sold in Russia and Asia for exorbitant amounts of money. After gathering all the information he needs, John eliminates Park. He contacts a specialized team known for cleaning crime scenes, usually working for gangsters and mafia, to clear away all evidence and dispose of the bodies. The next day, John heads to the hotel where Judge Kim is engaged with the girls. A new girl is sent by a girl dealer named Pig Mama to please the judge. In a ruthless and relentless display of skill, John eliminates all of the judge's men with his sniper rifle, leaving no one standing. Yuri, who was present at the scene, starts firing at John, initiating a fierce gunfight between the two professional fighters. Amidst the chaos, Officer Lee takes advantage of the situation and aims his gun at John, betraying him. Yuri captures John and brings him before the judge, who confirms that he is indeed the one who demanded Sung Yun. The judge orders Lee to kill John. However, John quickly turns the tables on Lee, taking him out instead. Facing overwhelming odds and numerous adversaries, John battles fiercely against everyone who attempts to kill him. He eliminates them one by one. As the fight rages on, Yuri engages John in prolonged and grueling combat. However, John's skills prove to be superior, and he eventually gains the upper hand and eliminates him. In the final confrontation, John enters the judge's room, and the judge realizes that John intends to kill him. Attempting to save himself, the judge offers John money and proposes a partnership. John questions the judge about Pig Mama, and the judge reveals that she works with him in the human trafficking business. John doesn't fall for the lure and kills the judge. Meanwhile, Kate, John's wife, is seen talking to her best friend Lena. Lena receives a call from the judge's phone, revealing that she has been involved in the trafficking operations along with the judge. He abducts Lena and takes her away from the city. He reveals his true identity as a professional killer, and explains that he will protect Sung Yun. Then he proceeds to eliminate Lena. After dealing with Lena, John reunites with Kate, his wife. It is revealed that Kate was the girl John saved from suicide in the past, and they embrace each other. The movie concludes with a sense of justice prevailing, as John successfully dismantles the human trafficking ring and saves Sung Yun, finding happiness with his wife Kate.